Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
Mr. Magazine, we're going to talk a little bit today. You can mention as much as you feel comfortable mentioning, but there's a reason why we're talking about this.
All right.
We know that you have in the past, you owe the IRS some money, and you've always made payments throughout the years.
Correct.
It's part of being successful, of course, is you got to pay your taxes, and you're paying your taxes every year, and all well and good. The only thing is sometimes it's after the fact that you end up paying the taxes.
Right. Yeah. You try to save up the money. This deal comes around. You got this other debt, and before you know it, I don't have much built up to pay, and then I go on a payment plan.
Right. Okay. So you're on a payment plan with the IRS and have been for several years, ever since you basically turned the business around, is what it comes down to. I'm stumbling over my words, which almost never happens. Do you remember what happened many years ago when you got kicked off of eBay for a short period of time?
Yep.
What happened?
Didn't know where I was going to get money to pay the bills, and then I'm assuming you were the one that told me to start going on Amazon, and we found Amazon. I started finding stuff that I collected that I didn't care about, selling that, records, magazines, shoes, all kinds of stuff. And that's how we started Amazon, little by little, and we grew that into a much bigger platform than eBay right now for us.
And so now you're in a situation where you owe a fair amount of money to the IRS. Let's be honest about it. It's a fair amount of money. And potentially may hurt your ability somewhat with some deals in the short term.
Right.
In the short term. What can we take from what happened with eBay and extrapolate it out to where we are now, potentially? Could be a tremendous opportunity for you.
As far as like getting off of eBay? Or
No. You were kicked off of eBay,
right,
which was terrible at the time.
Right.
Yet it turned into a tremendous opportunity that opened up a lot of things. And if you were, if it hadn't happened to you, for all we know, you could still just be on eBay. Leave out the adult going off eBay, because that forced, even that. Yeah. The adult was off eBay. It forced your hand to do something else as well.
Right. Yeah.
Well, now you're in a situation where you owe some money to the IRS.
Yep.
There's two ways to solve your problem.
Right.
Sell more, spend less.
Correct.
Or a combination of those two.
I'm definitely trying to work on a combination and be very smart. I always say I'm buying smarter, and obviously with the numbers from my accountant, we are more efficient. We are buying smarter. We're getting more bang for our buck. Which has caused me to make more money with fewer sales. Correct? That makes sense.
Yep.
But again, now I definitely want to cut back, because one, I'm talking to paper where I'm like, I have so much good stuff from the last 3 18-wheelers, 4 18-wheelers sitting around it we may not get to for 5 or 10 years. So I really don't need to buy unless it's a really good deal.
And even then, you don't really need to buy.
If it's something rare that I don't have that I know it's going to sell, fine. Like people coming with cards, I don't even want to look at them anymore. Honestly, I'll entertain customers, but for the most part, I really don't want to spend, even if it's $50 or $100, because it's a waste. There's other things to sell. And I'm getting smarter in the sense that I'm finding higher priced items for my listers to list. So we got a guy who's listing VHS, and I said, you know what, you're just going to list $36 to $100 VHS. The 26 ones we're going to set aside. You're going to list $30 or more DVDs. So everyone's like, we're raising the bar for all our employees to list higher end items. And as far as quicker money, we're hiring more people now, but we're going to hire 2 whatnot people, because I need money now to pay this down quicker. I don't want to wait a year and try and pay it off and build up the money. I want to have more income now. So I hired a guy that's going to work full time, mainly whatnot, sports cards, but he'll do other stuff. I got another guy part time for 45 RPM records. So with those 2 guys, say they're working 50 to 60 hours a week, even at 40 hours at whatnot, that's got to bring in thousands of dollars, even if you're selling $100 an hour, whatever it is. So I think that certainly will help out. And it's, again, inventory that's already bought and paid for, so but I think that's definitely going to help out short term to build up some loot in my account to either buy a good collection if it comes my way, but it's more importantly, save up money or pay the IRS.
Yep. And that's what I want everybody out there watching to realize as well. Everything that happens, there are people out there that mope. There are people out there that are, oh, woe is me, and complain about everything and are just really, really upset. And, oh, why did this happen? Oh, life is terrible. There are people out there like that. Don't be one of those people. Things happen. Not everything is always ideal. You get knocked down, but you get back up, as the song goes.
Yeah.
And that's what you absolutely need to do. And we've all... If you're an adult watching this, if you're a child, well, congratulations, you're precocious. I don't know why you're watching us. But if you're an adult watching this, you have had bad things happen to you in life. You have had setbacks. You have had failures. You can either sit there and mope and feel terrible about it, or you can, stand back up, wipe yourself off, and keep going. And Mr. Magazine is going to keep going, and he's going to solve the problem. No, it's not dire by any means at this point. It's just kind of one of those, you probably need to pay that.
And I'm fortunate too in the sense that I don't have to go out to buy stuff to, oh my God, I need to make more money. So how am I going to make more money? I don't have any inventory. I'm overloaded, and I do love prepping this stuff. The good thing is with the card guy, he knows cards. The record guy with the 45s, he knows records. So now I can just hand him a box and say, hey, take 30 minutes. You pull out the stuff you think is going to sell. I'll let them roll with it so that I don't have to waste my time, not wasting it, but spend more time prepping stuff for some of these, listers, because I got to do prep for other listers too. And, and I don't mind working more. As you can see, I'm tired right now from being up since 4 a.m. But nevertheless, I'm willing to put the time in, do the work, and build the business up as best I can.
Yep. And I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things that we look back on in 5 years, and at that point we'll give you some numbers and some more information about it, and it'll have completely changed the way you're doing things for the positive. Sure. I definitely see this as a tremendous opportunity for you.
Yep.
A lot of it kind of ties into what I've been saying for a long time to you, that you just kind of got to bite the bullet.
Right.
Well, I think this might be the time that you end up biting the bullet, getting ahead of the game and looking at smaller IRS bills, but in the future, but because prepaying the stuff, not smaller because you're not making money.
Well, another thing too is and I guess if you give me 2 options, so we're at May 1st right now, 5 months, we're really 4 months, January, February, March, 4 full months. I've already spent I've spent over $400,000 buying collections this year alone. Now, if you said, would you go back to January to May, buy nothing, but you'll have the money to pay the IRS off, would you do that? And I don't think I would do that. I would rather buy these deals because I had a couple heavy-duty deals that I paid for, or even in the loans I got out, but that's going to help me pay the IRS off even quicker, I think, if we can get a lot of the good, the better stuff listed. So, I mean, I would, not that I want to owe the IRS, but I think I'd rather have the good stuff that I just bought in the last 4 months and have that debt than have the money and no good inventory that I just recently purchased. If that makes any sense.
Right. Well, yeah, and again, just got to be a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? I had the word and I just dropped it. Just
frugal.
Frugal works. That wasn't the word I was saying. Discerning, a little more discerning, going forward. Yeah. In other words, obviously, if it's a 1 to 10, you're not doing any 1 deals ever. Yeah. But now in order to buy it, it's got to be an 8 or higher, whereas in the past it was a 6 or higher.
Exactly,
that kind of deal where you're looking at it going, it's good stuff, but if it is a 6, you work it out on your terms, not on their terms, and you say, hey, look, I am interested in this. However, here's what we got to do. You can put it off, or if you want me to have it right now, blah 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 blah, and then work the deal like that.
Yeah,
one way or the other. So. Hopefully, all of you can learn from this. Complain for a day or two when something bad happens. That's human nature. Nothing wrong with doing that. Get it out of your system. Go, I can't believe this happened. I mean, any number of times I've been screaming at the eBay on the computer for this or that. It happens.
Yeah.
But you can't sit there and get down into that funk. You can't get down into this is terrible.
Well, and that's how I look at it. I owe them 6 figures. Well, what am I going to do? Just sit back and life will get worse and I'll be in a lot of trouble. I have to solve it, so I can't even get upset. I just have to figure out a way to do it. It'll make me work harder. I know I have the willpower and the inventory and business sense to do this. It's just like someone that, is we're gonna take my brother-in-law out there. He's a sick guy. Had to have kidneys. Didn't have a healthy life. Well, you have a choice. You have to eat better, live better, or else the alternative is
you don't happen again.
Yeah. So it's like I'm forced to do this, but I don't mind doing. I'm not going to get down in the dumps because I know I can overcome it, and no problem. And my goal is to overcome it by the next 8 months, 9 months, whatever. Yeah. So.
Very good. That's a good positive attitude. Don't let the people out there that this is terrible. How do they do it? You need to push those people out of your life. You need to just have positive people in your life.
True.
That will make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
If you hit the like button, that would make all the difference in the world as well. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.